Hey guys, glad to see you again. This week's lesson deals with some friends. It's found in Luke chapter 5. And I want to ask before we get into it, do you have a friend? I imagine most of y'all have at least one. Okay, do you have a best friend? Why are y'all best friends? Have you ever thought about that? I imagine it's because y'all have similar interests. Y'all like each other's company. Maybe y'all tell funny jokes and have the same sense of humor. Do y'all also look out for each other? Well, in today's lesson, it's about some friends who helped one of their friends who is not doing too well. In fact, let me introduce him to you real quick. And he's very sick. His name's Humperdinck. And Humperdinck is paralyzed. That means he can't move his legs or his feet. He can't move at all. Now, Humperdinck has some good friends, and they know in today's story that Jesus is nearby, and Jesus heals people. So they have an idea. They're going to go take their friend Humperdinck on a mat, because they didn't have taxis back then or pickup trucks or anything. They're going to put Humperdinck on a mat and carry him to where Jesus is teaching. And hopefully, Jesus will be able to see Humperdinck and heal him. Let's go see what happens. So we know Humperdinck's friends must have been strong. They laid him on a mat, and they each took a side and picked him up, and they started walking. And they walked a long ways, I'm sure. And they found that Jesus was actually teaching in a big house. And inside that house were other religious leaders, different people from all over the area that had come to see Jesus and to hear him speak and watch Jesus heal other people. They were so excited when they finally made it there and knew Jesus was inside. But there was one problem. After they had carried Humperdinck this whole way, they found out that there was a crowd outside, and they could not get in. It was packed inside those doors. But they knew they had to see Jesus. They had to help their friend Humperdinck. What were they going to do? Then, Rabbit had an idea. He had brought some rope along and was going to make use of it. Now, Rabbit is a smart fellow. He took his rope, but he also took this hammer. And we're about to see one of the most ingenious ideas, although I don't think I'd have been brave enough to do it. So let's go see what happens. Rabbit's great idea was to take him and his other friends with the rope and climb all the way to the top of the house. From there, he figured, he could lift up Humperdinck, make a hole in the roof, and lower him down in front of where Jesus was teaching. But first they had to get Humperdinck up there. Peering down from the roof, Rabbit turned to his friends, said, "Look, there's just enough room in front of Jesus. I think if we're careful, we can lower Humperdinck down. That way Jesus will have to heal Humperdinck, right?" The friends agreed and got to work. The people inside the house were shocked to see Humperdinck being lowered down to the floor. They quickly scurried to take off the ropes, and they all looked up to see Humperdinck's friends, eager to find out what would happen to him. All eyes were on Jesus. Jesus stepped forward and looked at the religious leaders, knowing what was in their hearts. He looked at Humperdinck and said, "Your sins are forgiven." Humperdinck's friends were a bit disappointed. They had carried Humperdinck this whole way to see him healed, not his sins forgiven. But wait, Jesus wasn't done talking. He turned to the religious leaders in the house and asked, "Is it easier to tell someone their sins are forgiven, or to tell them to get up and take their mat?" Of course, the answer is to get up and take their mat, especially if they were paralyzed like Humperdinck. So Jesus turned, looked to Humperdinck, and told him his sins were forgiven, and to get up, take his mat, and be on his way. Carefully, Humperdinck obeyed Jesus. He was able to sit up, stand up, his legs were strong enough, and then he rolled up his mat, put it on his back, and looking up to his friends, gave a big smile and walked out of the house and on all the way home. On his way home, Humperdinck, talking with his friends, was praising God, thanking him for healing him. But Humperdinck was also thankful to his friends for carrying him that long way and knocking a hole in the roof so they could lower him down for Jesus to see and heal him. Hey guys, so how cool is it that Humperdinck went from not being able to run or throw a ball to, in a matter of moments, being able to do both? That would have to be pretty incredible. But there's something else in this story I don't want you to overlook. Jesus told Humperdinck there at first that his sins were forgiven. And that was telling the religious leaders in the house that he had the authority. He wasn't just a great teacher. He wasn't some magic healer. He was God. And the teachers in that house, the religious leaders, knew exactly what Jesus was saying. So Jesus, yes, has the authority to heal anyone and everyone. But it's not just a healer. And I just wanted to make sure we knew that and understood the other aspect of this story that's easy to overlook. I hope you all have a great week and really do look forward to seeing y'all soon. Bye, y'all.